Hello, and welcome to the second episode of the Level 70 show. My name's Ryan, and joining me today is a very special guest, Jeff Goldblum.
I get it all the time.
Only joking, it's our poor man's Jeff Goldblum, known as Rob.
Bonjour.
Don't forget, in a couple of weeks, we'll have the mystery game developer joining us, who, as mentioned last week, has published some fairly successful titles on Steam, one of them being an officially sanctioned Half-Life expansion. Any idea who this is yet? Let us know down in the comment section, and while you're there, you may as well subscribe. Right, so shortly after this week's news roundup, we have a second game to put on our wall of fame and or shame, which is another remake, the fairly recent Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. After that, we'll be letting you know what we've been playing lately and then just having a general chit chat. So, without further ado, hit us with the news, Jeff.
Cheers, Lemmy. So, this week's news, we have Marvel's Avengers gameplay and a bit of news on that. So, I'm not sure you saw the initial demonstration. I think it might have been last year's E3, but it looked bad. It looked really bad. It had really bad character models. In particular, you had a really kind of like strange looking Black Widow. She looked really strange. Some say a bit manly, but alas, that's controversial. We're not going to go into that. And then we have, just like sloppy, repetitive gameplay. And I think everyone was very used to seeing, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Everyone's used to seeing the actual Avengers films. And then when they saw it in the game, then you had just different voices to the actual character models.
Yeah.
I think it threw a lot of people off. So, fast forward a year, I think they listened to, some of the criticism, and it's looking a lot better now. It's looking more fun, looking more polished. It's looking a bit more, like I say, just more polished, really, a bit more robust. They've confirmed Hawkeye as well as a DLC character. Hawkeye's awesome. They've also confirmed Spider-Man as a DLC character for the PS4 only, though, which has triggered a lot of people, right? So, that's a paywall right there. So, ooh. And then that's coming out on the 4th September this year.
So, what kind of game is it? Just to recap, from what I saw, just
it's hard to explain, right?
Your generic Spider-Man, third-person.
So it is a action adventure / kind of RPG elements, from what I gather. It has a co-op mode as well. But it's kind of like what I guess you could say hack and slash, but it's not really hack and slash. It's mainly like melee combat and stuff, right?
Like a brawler.
Well, depends who you are, right? Like a brawler, maybe. Depends who you are. Iron Man, you obviously got long range combat. It just looks pretty good now.
Nice.
Next on the news, we have Warzone Season 5 that came out. And apparently they finally reduced the file size of it, which is a godsend. Have you seen those memes about how big the game is?
No. How big is it?
It's like 200 gig now, right?
Jesus.
But the meme is like every single DLC comes out, it's like 40 gig. So have you seen that movie Captain Phillips?
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm the captain now. People say, Warzone, I'm the hard drive now, sort of thing. You got to bring that up.
Yeah,
but they finally worked on compressing the game. So they've added in a weapon inspect animation. It's pretty cool.
Okay. What size is it now after the changes?
So this is the biggest patch yet. It was 59 gig.
Just the patch.
But like I say, just a patch. But like I say, they've worked on installing it in a certain way where it'll reinstall it, compress it again. So overall, I think the game now is like 2 gigs smaller than what it was before the patch. So that's good news.
Slight reduction then overall.
Reduction overall. But yeah, they've got weapon select come up now. They've got a couple new guns for the roster. Then they've got 2 new multiplayer maps, a new operator, and a slew of Warzone map changes, including a moving train and some other stuff. So check it out. It looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Next, we have Serious Sam 4 gameplay reveal and also another delay again. So Serious Sam 4, they kind of announced it a bit late. It's been in development, for a long, long time, like at least 5 years, probably more than that. Probably since 2011. Probably since 2011.
Wow.
And they finally announced it like back in, I think it was May, and it looked kind of mediocre. Like you could have 100,000 enemies on screen at once. That looked really awesome, but it just looked like it needed work. The gun models looked a bit shoddy, graphics weren't terrific, the sky wasn't really that great. Looking the skybox, sorry.
Mm.
But yeah, they've delayed it a little bit, and the latest gameplay trailer actually looks a lot more like how it should be, like a bit more polished, bit more frantic, lots of gore, just over the top, serious and fun, really.
Nice. 100,000 enemies is pretty crazy. Rip
Yeah, it looks
CPUs.
awesome. It looks really awesome. Problem is, though, they've been a bit covert about showing it off in the gameplay trailers. I'm not sure if that's because they want it as a surprise or if it's because maybe it's not what it really seems. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We'll,
Yeah,
we'll
it
find out, I
usually is,
suppose.
isn't it, in the games industry?
Yeah, it usually is, unfortunately, but hey, we could be proved wrong on this occasion.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Next, we'll have, yes, ID Software released Doom Eternal Update 2.1, and I'm not the keenest guy on Doom Eternal, as I told you like a couple weeks ago.
Mm.
But this patch, though, like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, all they've done was add in battle mode fixes nobody cares about. Like, if you ask someone, do you play Doom Eternal? They go, I played the campaign once or twice, and that's it. Nobody plays battle mode, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know. So, whatever they're doing there, I don't know what they're doing. So,
They had
good luck.
the really controversial Denuvo patch, didn't they? Post-release, put in Denuvo encryption,
Yeah,
anti-cheat software, which had
which they patched out, right? Yeah.
very intimate access on a hardware level to your computer, and people were not happy about that, and I was pretty annoyed about it as well. Even though I'd completed it by then, I'd actually
Yeah, yeah.
bought it for a friend for their birthday, and yeah, just the fact that they'd introduced all these issues with like frame drops and issues with the game crashing because they decided to implement this anti-cheat after launch. I just couldn't understand why the hell like they thought that would be appropriate to do, but they
Yeah,
pulled that
it's
in the
crazy.
subsequent release, I think, after the backlash. And now, like you say, it looks like they're just sort of patching battle mode, which yeah is probably not being used too much. I would have thought. I did play a little bit of it myself, but yeah, it's pretty basic compared to the campaign.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just seems like an odd choice to waste manpower on that when people want the DLC for the campaign, which they
yeah,
have confirmed. So it's just seems a bit peculiar.
yeah. Mick Gordon won't be doing the music for that either, will he? Did you see the
No, damn
controversy on
shame.
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
mm,
damn shame there. Great composer, but alas, there's some
mm.
politics there we're not going to go into today. Maybe next video.
I'm sure they'll get some, metal composer to sort of shred something out. Um,
Yeah,
but it probably won't be as good, but I'm sure they can make it work.
we shall see. Yes, I suppose. And finally, we have some Halo Infinite news again this week. So 343 have a massive blog post about this on their website. We'll link it in the description below. But in short, the multiplayer is going to be free to play.
So no Xbox subscription required.
No, I think they mean like it's going to be free to play. Like you can download the MP separately to the campaign,
All right,
and that'll be
nice.
free. So yeah,
You will still need
free.
Xbox Live, but you don't actually need to buy the game to play multiplayer.
Exactly. Yes.
Nice.
There's that. But well, that does mean though there might be microtransactions, right? Loads of them.
Yeah,
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
that would be a first for Halo, wouldn't it?
No, but I mean, there's loads in Halo 5 as well. I'm pretty sure.
All right, okay.
Yeah. They've also acknowledged graphics need work in the blog post, and they've acknowledged Craig the Brute.
They're going to buff him.
He's been buffed. He's now Prestige 2. They've also announced a Steam release, split screen co-op on the campaign. The grapple
Nice.
hook will be in MP as well. There will be a demo apparently of the campaign. And finally, they've brought on Sperasoft software to help with the development of the game. Sorry.
Nice, but a bit confusing actually. Why they?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, why bring on a third developer so late in the game to help out with production? That seems a bit
Mm.
kind of strange. I mean, it could be a good thing. Maybe they need the extra manpower to push it over the line. So I guess we'll find out when it comes out
Do you think
end
that's
of this
in
year.
relation to like the feedback they got from the trailer, or do you think that's something different?
I would probably say, yeah, they probably had the negative feedback and thought, right, we need some extra heads to
Mm.
get this all done, really.
Yeah, fair
Yeah, I
enough.
reckon so. And that about wraps up the news for this week. So moving on to the Wall of Shame and or Fame.
Indeed. So we have another remake this week to decide where we should put on our wall. It's going up against Destroy All Humans, so it's got some tough competition. So, Rob, why don't you start? What's your thoughts on the game?
SpongeBob. I will say it's not as good as Destroy Humans, but
I agree.
but it's also not a game you buy and sell, in my opinion, because the production values in the game are just fantastic, right? It's really well made. It's a great remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a remake technically, but
Mm.
I don't know. I've got the original one here, and like Destroy Humans, it's better. The remake's better than the original one.
You've got the nostalgia value.
Yeah, I played it when I was a kid. You know, for me, I
Mm.
played it first time and I was like, oh my god, childhood. Childhood, and it just gives you that fuzzy, warm feeling inside for me personally.
Mm.
And that, and I must admit, I used to love the show as a kid as well. So for me, it's an easy play. It's not a fantastic game. It's an easy play. It's entertaining. It's a
Mm.
very well made game. So if I can't fault it personally. If it was me, I'd put it in GG. But
Mm.
what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I do have some issues with it.
Let's hear it.
I have some issues. Right. One of them being the graphics options. You could literally count the graphics options you have available to tweak
Oh yeah.
on one hand. Let me take you
Oh yeah.
through what they are. It won't take long. You can change whether the game runs in a window. You can change the resolution that the game runs in. You can put VSync on or off, or you can adjust the gamma. That is it. That's all the graphics options that you have in this game.
I must admit, when I saw that, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I must admit that.
Mm. Just to go through, the other stuff that you can change or can't change, as it may be. For audio, you just have your basic controls on music, speech, or special effects. There's no rebindable keys. There's no way to
That as well.
change,
Yeah.
any key bindings. There's no auto detection of a PlayStation controller, so you don't get PlayStation button prompts if you're using a PlayStation controller. That's the issues that I have on that sort of level. And then moving on to the game itself, I found that the audio was sort of out of sync with the facial animations, and that was a bit jarring and took me out of it a little bit. I did jump into multiplayer as well, and that just seemed really weird. Like I was clicking join game, and it just kept saying no games available or something, and then eventually I just got taken into a game with this random person, and it was just a really bizarre experience. Like I was just running through this level where Squidward was a giant octopus, and he was
Squidworth. Ha!
so
Peasant,
Squid.
you heathen.
You can tell that I'm not a big SpongeBob fan, and I haven't played the original, I should say. But Squidward
But
was,
were you a fan as a kid of the series?
yeah, I'm a fan of the series, definitely. But yeah, my opinions are based on just this game in 2020, basically. So back to the multiplayer. Yeah, it was just a really bizarre experience. Like it was just really repetitive. Squidward was a giant octopus, and he was just spawning loads of enemies. The the netcode seemed a bit weird. We just sort of were blasting through these enemies, and then eventually, like, I just got so bored that I left the game, and I really didn't want to because me and the guy had been, you know, blasting through it for a while, but I was just so bored, and I didn't know when it was going to end. So so yeah, on the whole,
Yeah.
there's some failings. There's definitely some failings here, and when you compare it to Destroy All Humans, the only other game on our board, I think it's hard to justify it being anywhere close to it. I haven't played the campaign as I would have wanted to, so it's I'm a little bit biased here because I'm sort of giving my opinions on sort of the core game and the very early campaign. Like, what what's your thoughts on the campaign as you go through? Does it introduce new mechanics, or how does it get better, or is it just the same from the start? Would you say?
No, it does. You get trickled like more new stuff as you go along. You do.
Obviously, you switch between SpongeBob and Patrick. Does that change to additional characters, or is it always just those two?
You get Sandy too,
Mm.
and she's got her own like skill set, move set,
Yeah,
abilities.
I didn't find any of them that interesting or unique. Like, I haven't played with Sandy yet. That sounds a bit weird.
Does sound a bit weird. Moving on.
You know what I mean? But yeah, they just seem none of the mechanics seem that interesting or
Well,
engaging. They're
don't
okay.
forget it's a platform as well, right? It's
Mm,
not. It's not meant to be a complex game. It's meant to be like your typical platformer, sort of just adventure game. Really,
mm.
it's not meant to be rocket science.
I did have a few laughs. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was some, story moments that made me laugh, and just like the characters and how you engage with them is kind of funny. But overall, as a person who's not played the original, has no nostalgia value, like, I'm leaning towards somewhere in the region of epic fail and buy on sale, like sort of 50-50.
Oh, it's no way, epic fail.
Hmm.
No way. Because the MP is a bonus in the new version. That wasn't in the original version, I'm pretty sure.
Bear
I
in
mean,
mind that obviously they're both remakes, Destroy All Humans and SpongeBob, that they are both published by THQ and they both retail at the same price. Now, I don't think you can classify these two games in the same category, and I would only recommend that you would buy this game over Destroy All Humans if you were buying it for like a young child, because obviously there's no violence and no inappropriate content in SpongeBob really. There's a couple of references that adults are going to get, I think, as is the case with SpongeBob. But yeah, it's all very tame for the most part.
the only
So
thing I can agree with is the port quality is a bit odd. There's not many options, like you say, and that's a bit of a bit annoying. But it's just a cool gameplay. It's just they took the original and made it better, and that's it. And
the graphics
it's
are
fun to play.
decent, so it's not
They're great, yeah.
like the lack of configuration is that big of a deal. But some people would definitely be quite irritated at the fact you literally can't change any key bindings or anything like that. People that play with mouse and keyboard, they might not use the same key layout that the game uses, and they're going to want to change them, and they can't. Yeah, it's just very, very little in the way of customization, which was surprising, really. But the gameplay is decent. The multiplayer was really weird. Have you jumped into multiplayer?
I've not played the multiplayer yet,
No,
but I have
but
heard bad things.
so they
But
should.
it's the audio design, the art design, graphics, the lip sync is improved from the original one. The original was a bit worse.
Oh wow.
The story is entertaining.
I think we have to
Okay,
put this.
maybe it's not a GG. Maybe it's not a GG.
It's not a
Maybe
GG. I've got to put my foot down and say that. Yeah, I think buy on sale is fair. Is fair. I mean,
it's not epic fail. It's not a fail.
no. Uh, yeah, it's close. It's close to being a fail. Skin in their teeth, I'd say. Just for the things that I've been over already, I'd say. if you buy it on sale, you won't be too peeved with the graphics options and the whack multiplayer.
The customization.
The
Yeah.
customization. Yeah. Are we in
Okay, maybe
agreement then?
no lower than that though, because I'll be unhappy.
You'd be unhappy if it went.
Yes, I'd.
Would you be really unhappy if it went in shameful display?
I'd be shameful.
Just because you played it back in the day. That's the only reason. You're
Not even.
biased, I
It's
think.
just no. It's just fun, man. It's just buy
Yeah.
one sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can agree with that.
Buy on sale.
Buy on sales for SpongeBob. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and for those who are interested, this was the original box art for Destroy Humans. It's a bit of a glare going on.
Nice.
But yeah.
Is it rated 15 or 18?
It was a 15 compared to
Ooh.
SpongeBob's 3.
Nice.
Super gory, mum. Super gory.
All those shiny objects.
All of that shine.
All right, then let's move on to what else we've been playing. So, Rob, what have you been up to?
I finally got around to trying out the Halo Master Chief Collection updates. And yeah, it's a lot better now, I must admit. I was a bit skeptical at first, but no, it's a lot better now.
I've not had any issues really myself. From what I've played of it, I've played a decent amount of hours now. It's been pretty good for me. Are you kind of a purist?
Purist, and I noticed these things, man. So detailed, you notice. But yeah, I noticed the sounds. They're way better now across the board. Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo Reach as well. That sounds a lot better now. And Halo 3, I think it affects Halo 3. Yeah, it does. It affects Halo 3 as well. But the sounds are a lot better. I've noticed there's some issues still with the frame rate. Like if you play at 144 hertz, like I do, you tend to get like a weird sort of hit registration where I think the animations are tied to frames that are lower, and then the higher frame rates kind of suffer a little bit. But I think they've confirmed they know of the issue and they're going to fix it soon. So that's good news.
So the patch was very much targeting audio issues, was it, or is it just
last patch was? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and some balancing and some glitches, you know.
I had my first experience of the flood. I've not really played Halo before now, so I didn't even realize there was like zombie type encounters in it. Pretty intense, some of them. Like they throw a lot of enemies at you. So yeah, that's pretty fun.
I still think like the best but also worst level in Halo Combat Evolved is a library.
Yeah, that's where I've experienced them.
But it's like it's such a bad level. Like it's just corridors and corridors and corridors. But it's so great though because you just shoot stuff in the face. It's awesome.
A lot of Halo CE seems to be just repeating areas. They all just sort of look the same, and sometimes you think, have I gone back? Have I just walked back the other direction? No, actually it's just the same in this direction. So you just kind of, when you see enemies that aren't dead, you're like, oh, I must be going the right way.
Pretty much. But I find that's pretty much a Halo trait. All of them do that more or less, you know. Especially ODST. That's coming out soon, right? ODST, pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know the release date off the top of my head. But
yeah, soon.
I've got so much to play through still. Like I can't keep up with it. They're releasing games faster than I can play through it at the moment. So it's such a great deal, I think, for what they're charging. Like you get so much gameplay, especially if you're like me and you've never played Halo before and you want to give it a go. It's such a great buy, in my opinion.
So if we were to put Halo on the wall, where would it go?
If we were, I would be looking at Red Hot Contender. Personally.
Red Hot. I mean, I would say Red Hot, but none of them are really spectacular games. They're all very they're good games, but they're not awesome games. They're kind of like very similar. Even though it's a good value package, I find that once you played one Halo, you've kind of played them all to a certain extent. So yeah, I'd probably say GG, but
Very strong multiplayer as well, though, obviously.
yeah, the MPs are pretty good to be fair. Yeah.
So you
So
got
how
tons of
about
replayability.
yeah? I think they're releasing Halo 4 as well end of this year, right? For it, and Halo 4 is a weird one. A lot of folks hate Halo 4, but I kind of liked it. It was different. I guess
Well,
you'll find out later on.
yeah, I'll let you know.
Let me know. So how about you? What have you been playing this week?
So I've been playing a bit of the Fall Guys technical beta. As
Fall
of
Guys.
as of now, it's actually
Rings a bell.
yeah, it's full release now at the time of recording. But I've been playing the beta over the last week, and it's been blowing up on Twitch. It's pretty popular. If you imagine Takeshi's Castle or like
Oh my god.
Gladiators, they've definitely taken inspiration from that. But it's like it's massively multiplayer, so there's tons of players, and you're all sort of battling through this crazy obstacle course to be the first, or to be at least the top, whatever it is, to qualify. And if you don't make that, you're eliminated. So you get some stages that you either need to qualify or you're eliminated, or you get some stages where if you just sort of fall out of the map, you're eliminated straight away. And then basically you play a series of maps until there's just one person left. It's pretty brutal. Like I came really close to winning, I think, and it just all went wrong really quickly, and I just got eliminated. So yes, it's a lot of fun. I think it's up to 4 players in you can squad up with. There are some like team focused maps or challenges where you have to like push a massive ball collectively, push it to the finish line, and you're up against other teams. So I guess it's a bit unfortunate that you can't have more people in the squad. Like maybe 5 seems like it would have been a better number, but
What is it? 4v4?
no. So there's way more than 8 players in a game. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but there's loads of players in there. But you can go into games as a squad, maximum of 4.
Okay. Quads.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. I think I have seen some reviews on it saying like once you've played it for a while, like the games just sort of repeat themselves. Like there needs to be more content, but I'm sure that's going to be on the way. Like these guys are doing really well. Good reviews on Steam. It's a very fun game to play, very fun game to
Right.
watch, which will be why it's so popular on Twitch and stuff. So yeah, definitely worth checking that one out.
Kind of sounds like Splatoon, or even have you played like those old like party games on the Wii? Remember those ones? Like
Yeah, it's definitely got that kind of vibe, but there's some
yeah,
really
yeah.
really nice like modern mechanics in it, like the physics type stuff. Like one I really like is where you're running up a hill and there's massive cannons firing out giant fruit, and you have to sort of yeah try to avoid them, or you sort of get knocked back down the hill. It's really hectic, and yeah, it's just a great laugh. It's a great idea, and
Check it out. Yeah.
yeah, if they're going to provide consistent updates, it's going to be a good purchase, I'd say.
And you've been playing that with our developer friend of you.
No, I haven't actually. I've just been playing it solo.
Going
But
solo.
yeah, I'm probably going to buy the game now because I enjoyed the beta. So yeah, I'll hop on with some friends. You should get it as well. We should.
You should give it a blast and maybe do some streaming. But is it one of those games though where it can be really good, but if you haven't got a full squad and you get paired with complete idiots, it ruins the game completely?
No, because some of the games it's not squad based. Most of them, in fact, it's just solo. I I can't comment on really sort of how the game reacts when you do go in with a squad, but like I say, there are some squad based modes when you're playing solo. You just get put with randoms, but the majority, from what I've seen of the games, it's all about how you do, and there's no reliance really on other players. So so yeah, it doesn't seem to be too sort of impactful in terms of what other people are doing. They can sort of pull you. I think there's a key to like grab someone and you can like mess them up a little bit.
Right.
And there's like seesaw geometry in the game where players run to one edge and it tips it one way. And I guess if people are trolling a little bit, it can mess you up. But yeah, it really doesn't matter too much what the other players are doing for the most part.
Okay, fair enough then.
Mm.
And hypothetically, if this game went on the wall, where would it go?
Definitely GG. It's worth the asking price, I'd say, as of right now.
How much is it? Like a tenner?
I believe £15.
15 quid.
And I think with depending what they do with it, it could be red hot, but they need to add a lot more. But definitely GG. I'd be happy to buy that without. Well, I am going to buy it at full price. So yeah, definitely GG in my opinion.
That's a wrap for today. We hope you enjoyed it. What do you think of our Spongebob Squarepants wall placement? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to us as we have a lot more content on the way. We also have a Discord server where you can come and hang out with us, play some games with us. Links to our social handles will be in the description. Until next time, stay square. Thanks for that.